Hello, this is Mr. Lowry, and today's objective is we will retell or paraphrase text in ways that maintain meaning and logical order. Another word for paraphrasing is to summarize. I meant to show this first. We showed this video in class and talked about it before, but we'll do it again. I also will have this video in the Google Classroom so you can see it. But remember, when we're summarizing a story, we identify who's the main character, what their problem is, how they solve their problem, and at the end, what lesson could have been learned. In class, we'll practice summarizing this text, as well as this text, Victor's sick day, the story. And remember, when we are reading a fictional text or story, the summary must include and beginning, middle, and end, but above all, the problem and the solution as well. We'll also be going over context clues, and we'll do a few of these activities during class. The type of text we're going to read today is a narrative nonfiction. It has characters who are real people, facts and details about real life events, and it will end again with a theme or message that the author wants to share. Again, what is the author's purpose for writing a narrative nonfiction? Need to add a T into that word. I'll also be playing this video in class because we're going to be reading this narrative nonfiction that is about something that really happened. What really happened is that there was a tornado that destroyed a town called Greensburg. And then what does it mean to be green, as the title of this narrative nonfiction is Green City? We'll talk about that in class. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you've already been in class, and we went over going green means using less energy, means saving water, and recycling or reusing, and not creating a lot of waste. So green just means it's good for the environment or nature. I remember the night when a tornado destroyed Greensburg in 9 minutes flat. All of my things, our house, everything was blown thousands of feet into the air. When it was all over, and we climbed out of our shelter in the basement, everyone's past had been swept away. Suddenly, the entire town of Greensburg had no future. How can you summarize the events on this page? In just like one sentence. What is the author's viewpoint about the tornado's effect on the people of Greensburg? You can see here it's in paragraph 4. Suddenly, the entire town of Greensburg had no future. 11 people died because of the storm. It took 12 people to lift the truck off Mr. Schmidt's house. It was like a huge bomb had gone off. Our school was destroyed just 2 weeks before graduation. The hospital, 9 churches, the water tower, the drugstore with its soda fountain, the grocery store, the 2 hotels, the 3 banks, the theater, and everything else just gone. The trees were shredded to nothing, not a bird in sight. The only buildings left standing were the courthouse, the historical SD Robinette building, and Greensburg's giant grain elevator complex. Summarize the destruction of the town by the tornado using the details on page 337. Not so many, just like 1 or 2 sentences. And looking at the town from high up, it was clear that nothing was left. Some people were asking, what good is Greensburg anymore? After all, we'd only been a little town in the middle of endless cornfields. Down on the ground there was a gigantic mess to clean up. Use the details on page 338 in order to explain why the people of Greensburg felt hopeless after the tornado. The very next day, we met in a huge emergency tent set up amid rubble outside the courthouse. 500 people were there, along with TV, news teams, emergency crews, and volunteers. With almost no buildings left, the only thing that remained of Greensburg was the people. It seemed like the end of our town, but some people saw the whole situation as an opportunity for a fresh start. Soon the big question for everyone became, what do we want to be now? Use details in the text to explain why the people had to meet in a tent. And use context clues in order to explain the meaning of the word opportunity as it is used in paragraph 16. Again, some people saw this whole situation as an opportunity for a fresh start. Everyone set to work. The president flew in and declared Greensburg a disaster area. So many volunteers flocked to the town we had to build a whole trailer park for them. Use context clues in order to explain what the word flocked means as it is used in paragraph 20. I don't understand. There should be a punctuation there. That's why I'm taking so long. What is an advantage of having a trailer house? As this is what they were talking about. They were moving in a lot of trailers so that the people could live in. So what is an advantage of having a trailer house? Donations came from all over Kansas, the United States, and the world. The government sent experts to help us. And there was a whole lot of rubble to clear out. More than 388,000 tons. A ton, I should put that on here. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Use context in order to explain what the word rubble means as it's used in paragraph 23. We had to move out of town and find somewhere to stay during the big cleanup. By the summer, we were living in our small city of 300 trailer homes outside Greensburg. Again, this is what their trailer park would look like. Only a lot more houses than that. Life was not easy, and there were disagreements. Some people moved away and never came back. Out there, living close to the weather, we realized how hot Kansas really could be. We had to drive everywhere, and there was always the chance that our trailers would be blown away by the wind. Name a disadvantage of living in a trailer that is mentioned on page 342. It's actually paragraph 29. And explain why the people had to drive everywhere. This is a big inference question here. Why did they have to drive everywhere? They had to drive outside of their town. We kept dreaming of what Greensburg and our new homes would look like. We did a lot of talking about how to build again. Sure, we all agreed on tornado-proof houses and houses that we could keep and cool in summer and warm in the winter without using more fuel than necessary would be great. The word green kept coming up at every meeting. "Isn't green just a color of paint?" asked Bob Dixon. Then Daniel Wallach spoke up. "Green is basic common sense." He declared, "Don't use up more than you need. It's sustainability, the Kansas farmer's way." Mr. Wallach opened an office and called it Greensburg Greentown. Not just green houses, a whole green city, he said. Use details in the text in order to summarize what page 343 is about. And use clues in the text to tell what sustainability means. That's that paragraph 34. The whole idea of a green city had everyone excited, and some people got really creative. Lana and John Jansen reclaimed the kitchen cabinets and tiles from the remnants of their old house. Daniel Wallach suggested the silo eco home with rounded walls like the grain elevator complex that survived the storm. Jill and Scott Eller started working on an amazing wind-resistant geodesic home made from wooden panels. Use context clues in order to tell what the word reclaimed means as it is used in paragraph 37. And explain why the people plan to build homes that have rounded walls. That's it. Thank you for watching the video.